Hello everyone, welcome back to Cyber Cathedral. Today we'll be looking at one of the products and services of the National Institute of Standard and Technology under the Information Technology Laboratories, which is the National Vulnerability Database. Quickly, we'll walk through to the NVD. So first of all, you're going to visit the website nist.gov right above here, and we'll be directed to this very particular homepage here. Click on the Labs and Major Laboratory. I'll click on Information Technology Laboratories. All right. So we have our products and services, which I'm going to click on it. And here we are, ITL product and services. Remember in my previous video, I said we have currently as of the time of making this video, we have 5 research laboratories, which ITL, which is Information Technology Laboratory, is one of. So we are currently exploring one of the product, which is National Vulnerability Database. I'm going to click on it. All right, so after clicking on it, we will be directed to this very particular page here. So if you look at the URL up here, it is now nvd.nist.gov. All right, so looking very closely, I would like us to explore these very particular submenus that we are having here. So first of all, we have the general. So under here, we can click on the NVD dashboard, news. You can check frequently asked questions, visualization, legal disclaimer. But I would like us to go straight to point of focus before every other thing. So let's expand the vulnerability, starting with the search and statistics. I'll open it in a different tab right here. So after clicking on it, we have our search. Let's search our vulnerability database. It says try a product name, vendor name, CVE name, or an overall query. So down here, I would like us to look at this very particular sentence here. It says search result will only be returned for data that is populated by NIST or from source of acceptance level provider. And in a few minutes, I will be showing you how to understand, or a page where if you want to understand what acceptance level provider is. But by this sentence, every vulnerability that we'll be searching here on this very particular repository is populated by National Institute of Standard and Technology. Of course, it is being maintained by NIST and populated by NIST. But not all vulnerabilities are provided by NIST, and which is why we have or from source of acceptance level provider. We have other security organizations or researchers or vendors that also provide some of this data. And I will be showing you a little bit about the acceptance level provider. So here we can filter out the search type to be either basic or advanced, overview or statistics, and other information here. So quickly, I would like us to look at CVE 2017 0144. So I will go ahead and click on search. Okay, here we are. It says there are 5 matching records for that very particular search, and it is displaying 1 through 5. So right on this page, we have the vulnerability ID, we have the summary, we have the CVSS severity, which stands for Common Vulnerability Scoring System. Now, by vulnerability ID, we have CVE-2017-0148. Now, this uniquely identify each vulnerabilities. That's what the ID stands for. And the naming convention here is CVE dash the year dash a sequential number within that very particular year, which is 2017. So this is Common Vulnerability Enumeration 2017, and we have 0148 as the vulnerability ID all combined together. Then we have the summary. Now this concisely explains what this very particular vulnerability is all about. And we have the publishing date also here, which is March 16, 2017, as well as the date and time. Then we have the CVSS severity, which is rated high. Now based on the version 3.0 is high, and as well as version 2.0 is also high. You could as well click on the ID to learn more. All right. So we have the CV 2017-0148 details, the description. You can go down, you see the severity, references to advisories, solutions and tools. You can explore it down here. We also have hyperlinks to other resources down here. All right. So you can as well do that. And you can also click on the CVSS severity as well. And it's going to bring you down to the calculator, this CVSS calculator. I'll be showing you how to access also this very particular place here on the website here, but you can as well do that. Click on it and you will learn how the scoring system is being calculated. So if you have more matching record, you can as well come to the sort result, click on it, either sort it by published date descending or date ascending or modified date descending, whichever way you want to do it. So you can as well sort the results. Now if you want to return back to your searching page, all you need to do is just click on the search and statistics, and it's going to take you back to the initial page where you can do your searching, just like we click the search and statistics here. Here we are back to where we search our vulnerability. So I previously used CVE-2017 in case where you don't have prior information about the specific vulnerability you're trying to search for, but you want to understand all the vulnerability that were imputed in this year. All you need to just leave it the way it is, CVE-2017 or 2018 or 2019, and you click on search. It's going to return pool of vulnerabilities that were populated in this very particular year. All right, we could as well search using CPE, which stands for Common Platform Enumeration. All right, for example, I can use Windows. I can search for Windows platform, and it says there are 11,250 matching record displaying 1 through 20. You could as well sort it here. You could as well look at some of the search parameters that we have down here. Descend into vulnerability ID. So these are all the matching record. All right. So I would like us to quickly look at, you can as well check weakness type, legacy data feed, vendor comment, and interestingly, I want us to look at the CV map. So I'm going to open it in a new tab. And here we are, which stands for Collaborative Vulnerability Metadata Acceptance Process. Now, initially I was talking about acceptance level provider, where we have external sources of data that are being provided here about vulnerability. If you want to understand how this collaboration is being done between the National Vulnerability Database as well as the external source of this of the data, you could go through this very particular page here. This is not very much detail. We will still look at another page and you will understand. It says, as the CVE program has matured, you can just go through it and you get the clearer picture. So I'm going to collapse this and let's look at this very particular heading. Let's click on the calculator. Initially, I said I'm going to show you a better way to view this. So when you search your vulnerability and you see the CVSS scoring system. I say you could click on either you can click on the scoring system, which is medium or low, and it takes you to a page where you understand how these scoring system are being calculated. So this is a very good place to look at that if you're interested in knowing the nitty-gritty of how this calculations is being done. You can go through this page and you have a clearer picture of what it is. So currently we are in CVSS version 3 calculator. If you want to look at that of the version 2, you could also click on this very particular link here. So let's look at the product very quickly. We have the CPE dictionary. So under the CPE dictionary, which stands for, that's the CPE, which stands for Common Platform Enumeration. Remember, you can search for vulnerability using CVE or CPE or using CCE. By CVE, which stands for Common Vulnerability Enumeration, and CPE stands for Common Platform Enumeration, and we have the CCE, which stands for Common Configuration Enumeration. As the name implies, the CVE, it's used to search for vulnerabilities in software and the CPE is used to search for vulnerabilities in on software products or platforms, and then the CCE is used to search for security configuration as well as security best practices. So in this very particular page, we are looking at the official Common Platform Enumeration Dictionary. So we have official CPE dictionary here. If you want to go through it to understand or to look into it, you can as well click on all the links there and check. So let's look at the CPE search, where we can search for vulnerabilities that are peculiar or related to specific platforms. So we have our search here, where you could type in the CPE name. Now, for example, initially I have demonstrated that slightly. I wrote Windows when we were actually here under the search and statistics, where we are supposed to search for. Let me open it and show you the comparison. So this is for the CPE. Under here, we can search for our CVE as I demonstrated earlier, right? But of course, as well, you can still search for CPE, just like I wrote Windows and we were able to see about 11,000 matching record that we are returned. So in this very particular place, I can just, if I don't know the syntax for searching for CPE names or keyword, I can just put in Windows and then I'll click on submit. You could as well click for deprecated CPEs too. And here we are looking at all the search results here. We have the vendor, the product. Now, for example, now we have this very particular CPE syntax here. So if I like, I'll click on view the CVEs. If I click on it, it's going to take me to the peculiar vulnerability that is affecting this very particular platform, Windows. So clicking on that link, it brings me back to this very particular page here, where I can see the vulnerability ID, the summary, the CVSS severity. Like I said earlier, you can click on any of this link here of the severity scores here, and it's going to take you to the calculator for you to understand how this calculation is being done. So this is very easy and very important to understand how to navigate this. All right, so I'll close this tab. I will as well just go back for us to look at the CPE page. So you can scroll down and the list goes on. So you can click on 2, 3, 4 to keep exploring other. Okay, up here we even have about 11,282 matching record. All right, so this is how to search using the Common Platform Enumeration. So back to our product here. Another interesting thing I would like us to look at is the CP statistics. Very, very key and very, very important. It gives you a brief summary of all the entries in each year. All right, official common platform enumeration dictionary statistics. So in the year 2014, January, new entries about 20,260. You can look at modified entries up here. You can look at new vendors and also new products. You can look at deprecated entries. We're in the month of March. So as of March, we have about 2,041 entries, new entries. So this gives you a brief summary of all the vulnerability entries that have been populated so far in each of the year 2023, 2024, all the way down to 2009. You can also click on the SWID, which stands for software identification, for you to understand how different platforms are being tagged or categorized together. So we go further under the developers. I won't be spending much time here. This is an area where if you would like to access vulnerability data feed programmatically and you want to integrate it into your application, this is a go-to area for you to request for an API key and how to be able to access some of this data in real time. You can also contact NVD. So here you can contact NVD. We have, it says use this form for submitting general question requesting review of NVD analysis data for question. You can use this form here. You can also as well join news Google group, and there are other contact information down here. Email soc@us sat, phone number. So these are some of the contact information for NVD. We can as well look at other sites. You can check the NCP repository. And very interestingly, I would like us to look at this very particular site here, configuration CCE, which I explained earlier, which stands for Common Configuration Enumeration. So let's look at this very particular page. Remember, you can search for vulnerabilities that are related to configuration and best security practices here. So once you open it, they are in MS Microsoft Excel format. You can click on any of these links that you are interested depending on what you're trying to check. For example, let's look at the CCE v5 VMware. Let's look at this very particular file. Okay, here we are. We have the ID, which is CCE-84401-9. Look at the configuration, the built-in, the audit item, products, recommended parameter. So you can go through this to understand some key configuration settings and also some security best practices. So there are various ways you can search or make use of the NVD website to be able to understand the current trend or how vulnerability could affect your organization, software or configuration or whatever it is. You can as well come down to our search here, click on the vulnerability search. You can search, use the CPE search. This will give you similar platform or result just like we've checked previously under the vulnerabilities here. So I hope this helps for you to always come around, check out vulnerabilities that are affecting your organization, or if you want to find out more information about a certain vulnerability, this is a go-to area. And I will be making video also on the MITRE common vulnerability enumeration, which is synonymous to the NVD. It provides similar resources, provides similar information, just like the NVD, but just that it is not managed by the National Institute of Standard and Technology, but rather a company or an organization called MITRE. Thank you very much.